Hey guys, it's Summer Rayne from Homestead, Brooklyn, and today's Plant One On Me episode is about my green wall. So you may have seen that I did a video way back when, about 4 years ago, about the construction of this actual green wall, which was put in by a company called Mingo Design. But there's a lot that we've learned over the last 4 years, and I'll show you some of the improvements that we've actually done on this wall. So today I'm going to show you how this is put together, how the irrigation works, and what plants do the best. So one of the things that I had to consider in building the wall is how big I actually wanted this. And initially I wanted the whole wall to be covered with green, but some of the folks that I was building it with said, you know, some of these plants are going to eventually hang down, so why don't we just start with a few different gutters and then you could add them as you go. But one of the things we had to consider is that each of these gutters is pretty heavy, because if you're thinking about that soil, then you have the plant, and then you have all that water in there, which each gutter holds about 1.5 to about 2 gallons of water. And if you've ever actually hiked with gallons of water in your hand, you know how heavy it is. So in my case, I have drywall here, which wouldn't be a very good way to reinforce these gutters onto the wall. So instead, we looked into Den's glass, but we eventually just figured out that plywood would probably be the best. And the studs were about every 16 inches, so we reinforced the plywood on the studs and then put some L brackets, some really heavy duty L brackets, in order to be able to hold these gutters, which have been basically reinforced at the end, so they're waterproof. Additionally, one of the other things that I didn't have initially with the wall, but I had wanted to do, was to have some more augmented light. And I do get some really great south-facing window, but with all these plants, they're going to obviously stretch and vine towards the light and shade out other plants. So instead, we installed an LED grow light up top. Let's talk about the irrigation system now. Now these are nothing more than 5-inch gutters, and there's water in these gutters. And the way that the plants sit into these gutters are through these felted pockets, which you'll see here. So this is a soil-based system. You can see the soil. And what's nice about felt is that it actually can lap up some of the water. But of course, if you had these sitting directly in water, it could invite root rot. So what we have on the inside here is a semi-permeable membrane, which you could see here, and the water never goes past this point, because you'll notice this felt strip also along that goes into the bottom, and what that does is it pulls up water through capillary action, and then the felted plant pot sits right on top of that, just like this, and could soak up the water without soaking up too much, which again can invite root rot. So you're probably wondering how I water all of this. And the reality is, I don't. So each of these actually have about 2 gallons of water, which is an insane amount if you're just taking a watering can. So I wanted to create something that was semi-automatic. And the way that we remediated this was to actually take a hose and pipe it all the way from the bedroom into the living room, into the kitchen, and attach it to the kitchen sink, where there's an on-off tap for the water. So I simply turn it on, the water then automatically comes through here. And remember, it doesn't go past that sub-irrigation, the top of the sub-irrigation. So there's an overflow system that then takes the water down to the next gutter, then to the next gutter, and so on and so forth. And then once all the water is coming through and I see that the water is filling up, because we have little water gauges on the side, that overflow system goes down to the bottom over there, and then I go and shut the water off. So let's talk about the most important part of a vertical garden, the plants, of course. And so for the last 4 years, there's been some particular varieties that work really well with and without the light. So I would say that those are philodendron, pothos, aglaonema, some tenanthes, some calatheas, zamioculca, zamiifolia, which are the ZZ plants, dracaenas. These all thrive very well within the green wall. But also what I love about the felted pockets is that you can move them around and switch plants out from time to time. So this is my first time that I'm actually going to be trying maidenhair fern within the vertical garden. And of course, if I start to see a brown around the edges or look a little wilty, then I'll realize, okay, maybe this is not the plant for the vertical garden. But what's great about it is that you can have that ability in order to be able to test what is perfect for your vertical garden or your green wall. Hopefully that was helpful. And of course, if you like this channel, click the like button below, and you could tune in every week to Plant One on Me. And of course, you could follow along at homesteadbrooklyn.com and on Instagram at homesteadbrooklyn. Bye!